Singer Lizzo is being sued by 3 former dancers that are accusing her of being a nightmare behind the scenes, fat shaming, and other really shocking allegations about Lizzo, her team, and so much more. And now, 2 individuals that are not even a part of this lawsuit are corroborating these allegations on social media. Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your #1 source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. So this story blew up yesterday, and we were covering a variety of different other reality TV related things. But I wanted to talk about this story because now there's another element coming out in regards to this lawsuit. Other former employees of Lizzo are coming out and corroborating this information. I do want to preface this story by saying this is a lawsuit. These are allegations. However, this has to go through a court of law. We are going to keep an open mind and remind people everyone is innocent until proven guilty. Am I giving her that grace because she's a Taurus? Maybe. All right, focus. So according to Page 6, they're writing this in regards to this lawsuit. The former creative director and another former dancer of Lizzo's is corroborating some of what is coming out in this lawsuit from the 3 former dancers that are accusing Lizzo and her touring company of being a nightmare behind the scenes, and a lot of really shocking details, which we will go over in a second. So Page 6 writes this. It says, more of Lizzo's former employees are speaking out in support of the lawsuit that was filed against the singer, alleging subjecting them to weight shaming and sexually denigrating behavior. So just hours after 3 of Lizzo's former dancers came forward with the allegations, her former creative director, Quinn Whitney Wilson, and dancer Courtney Holoquist claimed that they experienced similar treatment. So posting on her social media, Sequest posted saying, for clarification, I'm not a part of the lawsuit, but this was very much my experience in my time there. Big shout out to the dancers who had the courage to bring this to light. Well, it doesn't stop there because Lizzo's former creative director, Quinn Whitney Wilson, then reposted Sequest's Instagram story saying this, echoing what Sequest said, I haven't been a part of that world for around 3 years for a reason. I very much applaud the dancers' courage to bring this to light, and I grieve parts of my own experience. I'd appreciate space to understand my feelings. Sequest then reposted that and said, my sister forever, only a few know what we've been through. Love you, Quinn. Page 6 continues, and they said the 2 women's comments came shortly after plaintiffs Ariana Davis, Crystal Williams, and Noelle Rodriguez accused the Grammy winner, along with Big Girl Big touring and dance team captain Shirlene Quigley, of creating, quote, sexually charged and uncomfortable work environment in a lawsuit filed on Tuesday. So in the lawsuit, the women allege that the singer Lizzo once pressured Davis to inappropriately touch a nude performer in Amsterdam. I know Amsterdam's like, how we get in this? In Amsterdam back in February of this year. After their concert, the plaintiffs claimed that Lizzo invited them for a night out in the town, specifically the red light district. And if you follow my podcast, I was just talking about the red light district. Yet once they arrived, Lizzo allegedly, quote, began inviting cast members to take turns touching the nude performers, catching toys, launched from the performer's private area, and eating bananas protruding from the performer's private area. Lizzo then turned her attention to Miss Davis and began pressuring Miss Davis to touch the chest of one of the nude women. So although Davis allegedly told the singer 3 separate times that she did not want to touch the nude woman, she claims that Lizzo, quote, pressured and goaded her into complying. Afterward, the Good as Hell singer allegedly badgered a member of her security team to get on stage, where she pulled down his pants and hit him with whips, yelling, "Take it off." Plaintiffs were aghast with how little regard Lizzo showed for the bodily autonomy of her employees and those around her, especially in the presence of many people whom she employed, per the suit. So, also in this lawsuit, the three women allege that the employees of the touring company, quote, treated the black members of the dance team differently than the other members. Not.
Hell no.
What? They said only the dance cast comprised of full-figured women of color were ever spoken to in this manner, giving plaintiffs the impression that these comments were charged with racial and fatphobic animus. So in April of 2023, Lizzo and choreographer Tanisha Scott allegedly accused Davis of not being committed to her role simply because she had gained weight, according to the complaint. They said in professional dance, a dancer's weight gain is often seen as the dancer getting lazy or worse off as a performer, the lawsuit read. Lizzo and Mrs. Scott's questions about Miss Davis' commitment to the tour were thinly veiled comments about Miss Davis' weight gain, which Lizzo had previously called to attention after noticing it at the South by Southwest Music Festival. Here's the problem with this whole situation, because so many people have been so critical of Lizzo and her body and her celebrating her full figure in her body. So these claims are even more shocking because it's just like, well, you present to the world this, and again, allegedly, this is based off the lawsuit, but you present to the world one thing and celebrating your body, but you're making your dancers feel a way about gaining weight and how they in their body. According to the lawsuit, Williams was fired in late April for, quote, budget cuts just 1 week after she spoke up in a meeting after Lizzo allegedly accused the dancers of drinking before shows. We'll continue. A few weeks later, Davis claims that she was fired for recording a meeting without Lizzo's knowledge. So are these disgruntled workers that were not doing their job and maybe having a little too fun on tour, and now they're bringing up maybe other elements of that weren't that professional? Because we know it's Hollywood and they don't follow the rules and regulations like they're supposed to. I want to give you both sides of the situation. This could very much be true, or are these disgruntled workers that are coming together to wield these allegations? But then there's the other element. These other individuals that aren't even a part of the lawsuit, the former creative director and another dancer, are now taking to social media and saying, no, this was my experience 3 years ago. So they continue. It said a few weeks later, Davis claimed that she was fired for recording a meeting without Lizzo's knowledge. They said Lizzo became furious, hurling expletives at the group, and stated that she was going to go around the room person by person until someone told Lizzo who made the recording. In response to Lizzo berating Miss Davis, Rodriguez decided to resign, which allegedly didn't sit right with Lizzo. Lizzo aggressively approached Miss Rodriguez, cracking her knuckles, balling her fists, and exclaiming, "You're lucky, you're so effing lucky," the suit alleges. Miss Rodriguez feared that Lizzo intended to hit her and would have done so if one of the other dancers had not interfered. So as Lizzo left the room, she raised both her middle fingers and yelled, "Bye, B-word," the complaint reads. The plaintiffs are suing for general and special damages, as well as punitive damages and attorney's fees. Yet the suit does not specify the dollar amount they are asking for. The stunning nature of how Lizzo and her management team treated their performers seems to go against everything Lizzo stands for publicly. While privately, she weight shames her dancers and demeans them in ways that are absolutely demoralizing, the plaintiff's attorney, Ron Zambrano, said in a statement. Reps for Lizzo didn't immediately return Page Six's multiple requests for comment. As their attorney said, it is pretty shocking. Again, we have to wait for this to play out in court. Will this even play out in court? A lot of times, and just because someone settles doesn't mean that they are admitting guilt. Sometimes it's just cheaper to settle a lawsuit instead of fighting this in court. But Lizzo, if any of this is true, even if some of this is true, these could be disgruntled workers because they were fired for whatever reason, unprofessionalism, whatever it may be. Is there some truth in here in regards to, because here's the thing, and this is why I'm grateful to have an HR background. And it doesn't mean just because you have an HR background doesn't mean that you won't have disgruntled workers, doesn't mean that people on your team that aren't don't have the same integrity or professionalism that you do. But very much like what I was saying, covering the Ellen DeGeneres situation, it starts at the top. It starts at the top. And if there are people doing things that as your representative, you are held responsible for it, especially as the face of this brand. But in this lawsuit, they are accusing Lizzo of also bad behavior. Lizzo, I hope this is not true. And if there is a small smidgen of this, if this is true, or if this is true and you settle this out of court, you better clean house and get your situation together, because it doesn't matter how great the songs are. It doesn't matter how much people love and adore you. All it takes is everything outside of the music when it comes to your team and the people around you that can ruin your career. Don't let that happen. You're too talented for that. And with that also being said, there's some responsibility that you, Lizzo, as the boss, holds in learning how to be a professional boss. Don't blur those lines. I know it's Hollywood. That's the thing. We understand it's Hollywood. These aren't your friends. You can't go out to the club with them and act all kinds of ways. I remember going out with coworkers and people want to drink and do all this stuff. This is why I wouldn't do it. Because people think, oh, we out to drink. No, that's still your coworker. And that you, Lizzo, it's even worse because you are their employer. Guys, as always, I want to know your thoughts on this Lizzo lawsuit. What do you believe? Let's continue this conversation there. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Thanks for watching.
Ooh,